This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Flyers from blue line to blue line. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Han & Stone Spa, Pat Dion Beverages, The Capitol Grill, Chickies and Pete's, Payroll Service Solutions, and Independence Blue Cross. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Now, here are your hosts, former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Parent and Paul Jolovitz.
And welcome everybody to the beautiful Chickies and Pete's and Parks Casino here in Ben Salem. We got a million things going on, a lot of people on this Thanksgiving Eve, a lot of TVs, a lot of food, a lot of fun, a lot of people winning a lot of money outside. And we're going to have a great time tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in advance. Hope you have a great holiday. And I'm going to have a great pre-holiday with my co-host, Mr. Bernard Marcel Parent. Do you celebrate Thanksgiving, my friend?
Of course I do.
There we go. Where are you going?
Well, every day it's Thanksgiving for me.
Every day is Thanksgiving.
I'm very appreciate the good food that we have every day. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Another beautiful thing is this doesn't happen a whole lot. Bernie has been with the Flyers for about 620 years, but he's the rookie on the show tonight next to the other guy here, our guest, who has been with the Flyers for 623 years. He'll fill in exactly what, but he, along with Dan Baker, two of the most tenured public address announcers in the world. He's been the PA announcer for the Flyers for over 50 years. It was celebrated a couple of years ago. Here to talk everything Flyers, Mr. Lou Nolan. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Paul, and thanks for you and Bernie having me on the show. I was looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
It sure will be fun, and life is fun right now, Lou. The Flyers on a 5-game winning streak. John Tortorella got everything going. Matvei Michkov today and Cutter Gauthier both named to TSN's best under 50, the two highest-ranked players, not in the NHL. Everything's good for the Flyers these days, huh?
Yeah, so far so good. You know what it is that Torts has the guys working hard, and that's the old Canadian thing: work hard, and they're on these guys all over the place. You know, they forecheck hard, they play the position well, and when they get a few saves, they do pretty well.
Bernie, you always mention the team is the most important thing, that no one player can do anything by themselves, and that's pretty clear in most sports, especially hockey, where nobody plays more than half the game except the goalie. What is John Tortorella doing especially this year? Did you ever play on a bad team that was rebuilding or whatever you want to call it, and your coach just said, do this and we'll be okay, and you played hard, you got it done? What's it like to play on a team like that?
No, couple of years I played with teams where, not too many years, but teams were average. I shouldn't say average. They're a good team, but it seems like we played against better teams all the time, you know. But
it's a neat way to say it, huh?
Every team was better.
Yeah, we're good, but everybody else is great. Yeah.
but they. I've been fortunate, you know. I always very quick story here. You know, I tell people, take risk in life, you know. Take risk. And I ended up in Toronto. I got traded by the Flyers to Toronto. And in those 2 years I played with Charles Plant, you know. And this is when I really learned how to play goal. And then the World Hockey League came in my second year.
Yep.
They asked me if I would like to join them. So I said, I thought about this. I said, why not, you know. And I didn't like, you know, we played in front of 400 people, whatever. I didn't like it. So I came back, and the rule was to go back to your original team. So I got back to Toronto. They traded me back to the Flyers, and ended up with the team that won 2 Stanley Cups following years.
Not a bad thing.
So if I didn't take the risk, that's why I share it with people all the time. If I didn't take the risk, I would have never played in Philly again.
Yeah, well, the team in Philly from WHA, initially it was the Miami Screaming Eagles, remember?
Yes, yep.
And, they moved to Philadelphia. And
Screaming Eagles?
Miami
I don't
Screaming
even remember
Eagles.
them.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Well, they never played.
Oh.
That's why you don't remember.
Wait,
No games, 0 games.
Yeah.
Bernie was undefeated with that.
Undefeated, yeah.
Wait, they folded before they ever played a game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the deal with
Well,
that?
I'll tell you when they did.
It's called money.
I left.
Yeah.
I went to Florida to sign the contract, you know, and
Sure.
and the whole bit, right? So I got on the airplane the same day, flew back to Philly. By the time I got to Philly, the team had moved from Florida to Philly.
Fold it while you're in the air.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you want to stay a while? You stayed 50 years, right, Bern?
Yeah.
Well, Miami would have been perfect. You have a boat. There's all those fish close by. It's warm and all that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Of course, your boat now is a beauty, and you're in a nice place here in Avalon.
All right, I got a question for you, Lou, that I don't think I've ever asked you before, but people would be interested to hear this. I kind of mention it sometimes. If the conversation swings that way, you'll understand what I mean in a second. If you were paid, and be honest with this one, if you were paid $1, Lou sits right near the ice, can hear and see everything that's going on. Obviously, the rest got to be able to talk to him through a hole in the glass. If every time the F-bomb was used in any way, noun, adjective, verb, insult, whatever, you got paid $1 each time, how much money would you make per game? Would you be a billionaire at this time?
No, not quite. I'd have
Not quite.
300,000 or so by now after a number of years that I played.
Does it amaze you how that word is used in so many different ways?
Yeah, in fact, lately, I think this generation, not us. Now, I don't know about you, Paul, but not us. When we used it, it was definitely a curse. These kids now, they use it, and it just comes out. It's just allowed. It's like it's allowed, but it's not really. It's a nasty word.
Bern, when you were playing, how much attention did you pay? Because, I wouldn't say to the PA announcer, because it wasn't a different PA announcer. It was Lou. How much did you pay attention to Lou and his attempts to rile up the Spectrum crowd, which was unbelievable? I'll ask Lou about Spectrum in the Wells Fargo Center, but did the public address announcer play into your game at all?
Of course. And Lou was a master at doing this. It was still is a master. Just a beautiful career that you have, and you know what, the ability to get the crowd going. Especially when you have 20,000 people in the building and you have the whole crowd going behind you. You become a couple of steps above to what you really are. And you perform better because I believe in life in general, not just in sports, but life in general. Nobody succeeds on their own. You have to be part of the team.
Exactly.
And you know what? To be part of the team in Philly, we had the hockey team, management, the whole bit, but we had a beautiful crowd that you kept excited all
Crowds
time.
are wonderful in Philly.
Yep.
Well, that brings me to another question, Lou. Talk radio, people say, what's your job? And I say, the job of any radio talk show host, I don't care what you're talking about, is to entertain the audience, to keep the audience glued. Yours is the same thing, but you're there to inform. You got stuff to inform. You got stuff to entertain. You're trying to rile the crowd up. The Flyers are playing poorly, or it's a dull game. You got to try to get it going. Do you see your job more as an informer, an entertainer? How does that mix for you?
Well, Paul, I'll tell you. When I talk to people, and they say, "What do you do?" I say, "Well, I'm the guy you hear talking. I talk inside the building." And
Pico
they go,
power play.
And then I mention that, which has a life of its own, certainly. And they say, "Oh, you're that guy." But I think that the primary thing you do is to inform the people what's going on. But now the referees turn their mic on, and they tell us. Some of them tell us. Some of them go, and then we all wonder what the hell they're talking about. But they do now tell part of it. But, getting the guys riled up. They now have host inside the center that helps do that. And then, of course, there's Gritty. He's running around. He's got a section devoted to him now. I forget what it's called, but it's a little bit of everything.
I think, matter of fact, Grady, looks like Lou a little bit. Huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's a little taller than I.
A little taller. But it's interesting, Lou, that is the Gritty's come in arena hosts and game night presentation, which they kind of call the whole thing, everything other than the game for the fans, has become a much bigger part of every sport with TV as it is, the ease of the internet. Got to lure people to the games with certain things you can only get at the game. How much has that changed over the years from the times in the 70s when Bernie was playing where it was basically TV in the game and you were the PA and that was it? Now there's 800 other things.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a life member. I started in '67. I picked up the announcing later on before the first cup. Timing is everything. But we had a scoreboard that was dot matrix. It looked like the scoreboard at the thing down at the train station.
Yeah, 33 station.
Yeah, yep. But it didn't have the life like that one has. But then that went to the other board, and now the big board. And there's so much complexity with that, and like a whole group of people devoted to making that go to the board, putting it together. and calling the right things. It's amazing. It's just amazing.
Bern, when you go to a game now, do you pay? I mean, not pay attention, but do you listen to the announcements? Do you? Does Lou inform you? I mean, there's a million things that all of us are told about, things that are happening, or contests, or Pico power play goals, assists.
He knows it before I know them. Believe me.
Yeah. But the voice.
Red light. Yeah.
But the voice of Lou, in that building.
Yep.
It just gets everybody going. The team, the coaching staff, everything, and you're a blessing from God, my friend.
Well, thanks,
Beautiful
Bernie.
thing.
Have you ever had another team get, either a coach, a player, GM, whatever, get mad at you for something you said to pump the Flyers up that they saw as derogatory toward them?
Not that I can really recall. Most of the guys are pretty good guys, and they understand that I have a job to do, and they have one too. But there were a few guys who were a little bit off, like Brizgalov.
Our own.
Him, Bernie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was
still in the area, by the way.
Yeah, he was at the lunch.
Give us an example, if you could.
Well,
what type of lunch he was at?
I would be outside the room when they would come out to do the warm-up. He would always stand right in front of me, and the phone would ring, and he'd say, "Oh, that's the Kremlin calling for me." And that's how he knew me like that.
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, I had him on. I had him on TV during the carnival, and I mentioned something that I see you when you're downstairs and all this, and he interrupted me. He says, "I don't know. I never see you. Who are you?" Threw me under the bus live, and I said, "Back to you guys."
Wow.
So we could send him to the moon where he really wanted to go.
Bernie, the Kremlin ever call you before a game?
I missed that question.
The Kremlin, the Russian White House, basically. They ever call you before a game?
Yeah, they said keep playing. We have a better chance to win. Yeah.
Boy.
How easy is it for Bernie? I mean, when obviously the Flyers can get a crowd riled up on themselves. You score a couple goals, a couple fights, whatever it is, you can get a crowd hopped up. That's the team's job, not the PA announcer's job. But if the crowd is really rocking, for whatever reason, either something Lou said, something the team did, what kind of effect do you think? I mean, it happens in every arena. Happens to the Flyers, too, when they're away. How much of an effect does that have on the visiting team from both sides, the good part, the bad part?
Well, for me, I love the crowd. I love the noise, and, especially at home, they're cheering for you. And, you're in goal. You're looking at watching the game, and you hear that crowd. And what the beauty about this? I don't think I ever shared that before. It wasn't just me, and the team. It was the crowd.
Yeah.
What did we have at the
people.
time? 17,000 people, I believe, right?
Yep.
007 or something like this.
17077.
Yeah. Well,
Solid.
and that to me, when as a matter of fact, when you stepped on the ice for the warm up, that's when it got started. People.
Oh yeah.
People would get. Because the building was in
keyed
full
up then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were just waiting for the team to enter the ice, and you'd lead them out on the ice.
86, he even had the fight during the warm-ups. That was after you retired, Bernie, when things were not civil like they were when you played, right?
Well, you can answer that one better than me.
I think that all got happened when the Canadians guys kept shooting the puck into our net after the warm-up. They'd wait till everybody was off, and then yes, exactly. And, I remember it very well. And it was quite a brawl. No referees, nobody to stop it.
Eddie Hospodar, who's going to be on this show next week, was part of that. And,
a big part.
There were suspensions handed down from that before the game started. Somebody said to me once, what do we put for time of the penalty? It's not 0 because it hadn't started yet. That was everybody's main concern. Which leads, Lou, to obviously there's some, I don't know what the word is, modicum of what you do, of how to document everything. I've seen your stack of cards before the game. Folks, Lou doesn't just make this stuff up. There's not the power play and Pico power play, here we go. You have a stack of live reads. I mean, I have a couple for this show, but you have a stack that if it fell on you might kill you. How many of those per game? Do you get through all of them? How do you decide which one is when? Because anybody who does a live broadcast, Merrill and Mike Quick on Eagle games, you, me, anybody, but your stack is huge.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a couple ways that it happens. we've got those cards for certain things. We've got a script that has at least 145 or 150 different items, and my name would be on so many of them, and other people would be on so many of them, and that's what we do. That's when I read them. I make sure I know who they are. I circle them. I know what I have to say, and once in a while, I'm flipping pages, and the producers call for certain things, Tina DeVillo, and like I'm flipping pages, I can't even find the freaking page. This is like crazy, and she gives me the numbers, and I'll read the numbers. But lots of them, if there's a pause, it's because I didn't find it yet, depending on what the read is.
Well, Merrill reads.
Excuse me a second. It was just like me when I'm looking for the puck.
If you miss the puck, the Flyers lose. Merrill had
missed the net.
Yeah, I know.
Merrill had a statistician named Jack Edelstein who was a huge practical joker, Lou.
I know Jack.
And then you got to read something. Somebody can write something in, get you to curse on the air or say something bad about someone because you didn't read it before. You have to read everything before you read it on the air live, don't you?
Absolutely, because if you're reading it and there's a typo or something, you'll read the typo. You just go right through it. A story: Ed Snyder Youth Hockey. Early in the Ed Snyder group, Ed had his kids come on the ice for a between periods thing. Well, the script wasn't updated, and it had like somebody from southern New Jersey. So I'm reading it, and the phone rings, and it says, "Lou, this is Ed. What the hell's wrong with you? Don't you know they're my guys? Don't you know that?" I said, "I'm sorry, Ed. I'm trying to read it. There's a lot going on, and it says they're the Fishtown Foul Balls, but I'll fix it up." And he says, "Who's responsible for that?" I said, "Call you back." He said, "Okay." It's a bad idea to have him call him back, but I did. But I called the guy that was in charge then, and I said, "I'm going to throw you under the bus. I just want you to know it."
It's interesting to me that Ed has the red phone, the hotline that.
Oh yeah.
Since not somebody up in some department, it's Ed.
Oh yeah.
It shows you have an important role on this team.
Well, when I would say yes, Ed, all the chatter on the headsets stops.
Yep.
Because everybody wants to hear what's going on.
Yep, and we want to hear what's going on too, and it's all kinds of fun. We're having a great time storytelling. Bernie and Lou, 5-game winning streak. All is good right now. We're going to be back. I'm going to tell you who our player of the week is and much, much more here from the beautiful Chigs and Pete's. A lot of energy here. Back after second segment on the ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky Pete's. Come taste our unique flavors for fall with some delicious additions to our cocktail menu. Try a pumpkin white Russian with Stoli vanilla or a tasty tequila apple pie with butterscotch schnapps. Or how about a fireball apple cider sangria topped with ginger beer for game day or any day? Come see us all fall long at the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Millions of Americans are losing their medical assistance or Medicaid coverage. If this affects you, Independence Blue Cross can help. You may be eligible to enroll in a health plan for as little as $0 a month. With Independence Blue Cross, you get the largest provider network in the area, including most Keystone First doctors and hospitals. We also offer free 24/7 telemedicine, coverage for hospital stays and prescriptions. See if you qualify for $0 health insurance and enroll today. Call Independence Blue Cross at 1-844-464-2583 or visit ibx.com/staycovered.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700. Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday. With locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City, Joseph Anthony is a premier salon and spa destination that offers unique and luxurious services such as the soft pack float and hydrofacial. The Center City location, located on the 5th floor of the beautiful Lowe's Hotel, is now open and features an exclusive summer menu where you can indulge in the Joseph Anthony experience in the exquisite Turkish bath. Joseph Anthony's little black card is the perfect gift for all your loved ones' relaxation needs. Call or go online to josephanthony.com. That's josephanthony.com.
If you are looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
All righty, having a great time here on this pre-Thanksgiving Eve. A lot of energy, a lot of holiday cheer. Most people had the time off. Enjoy yourself, whatever your time is. Be careful traveling. You're listening to On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, live from Chickies and Pete's right here on 1490 WBCB, where it's time now for the Independence Blue Cross Live Fearless Player of the Week. Each week we reward a flyer with this honor. This week, 5-game win streak. Travis Sanheim leading the team in scoring, playing almost 26 minutes a night, third in the league.
26.
Playing like a true number one defenseman, Lou. Yep, that every team needs. Remember to choose Independence Blue Cross today and begin to live fearless. When I told Lou who the player of the week was, I could have chosen from 8 guys this week. They've been great. You mentioned a guy who, a key to any team rebuilding, Bernie, I'm sure, has played with these kind of guys, somebody who nothing's expected from and is coming up and bringing a nice, little mojo along the way. Sean Walker was in a trade with the Kings, Lou, a complete throw-in. What's he giving to the Flyers?
Well, quite a lot, actually. I think he's got a couple shorthanded goals. He's done very well. He stabilized that defensive pair that he's in on, and you couldn't ask any more of it. Block shots. I mean, who wants a block shots?
Is that Tortorella? Is that the player? Is it both? I mean, obviously you're not inside Walker's head, but it seems like a player says, here's a new opportunity. Let me get on the good side of the coach in whatever format that comes about. Is that part of it for you?
Yes, it is. I think you're absolutely right. I think he says, you know what? I've gotten a rut out in the West Coast there. I got a real shot here to show people what I can do. And also, don't forget, he's a free agent at the end of the season. So he's playing now for next contract.
Here,
playing well. He'll do okay.
Bernie, you played with a lot of great defensemen. Did you ever play with somebody who you expected? I'm not saying, obviously everybody's a great player. They're in the National Hockey League. But somebody who you didn't expect a lot from, who gave you a lot either for a day, a month, a year, a career, somebody who was a lot better than you thought they were going to be?
Not really. We understood, first of all, I always had a system where communication was very important with the defensemen, each one of them. We sat down some before whoever we played against, and their habits or whatever, and we understood each other.
Sure.
And it's important because if I know what my defenseman is going to do in a certain situation, it helps me to be at the right place at the right time.
And to give him the puck the right way too. Once the save's made.
Yeah.
Was that in English or in French, guys?
Oui.
Oui. Yeah. All right, so keep going.
Yeah. No, but so it was very important, and to me, and you know what, the guy on defense was great. Joe Watson, great communicator.
Eddie Van Imp.
And Van Imp, and Jimmy. Also, Jimmy Watson, and we had, we had great people, great defensemen, but communication was important.
The problem, Lou, with Jimmy Watson said something to Bernie, the entire arena heard it, no matter how many people were screaming at the time. Jimmy might have, and I say this in the most positive of ways, we love him on the show every year, he may have the loudest voice of any human being on this planet right now. Would you agree with that? It's tremendous. It's resonant. Awesome.
Yeah, Jimmy's got a good voice. There's no question.
He'd be a bad burglar, though. He can't whisper.
Yeah, but Joe would beat him out from the standpoint of volume, over and over and over and over and over. If Jimmy said 10 words, Joe would say 45 words.
All right, which brings us to the next question.
Maybe 50.
Well, Lou wrote a book about all this, not necessarily about Joe Watson or Ed Van Imp or anybody else, called "If These Walls Could Talk" a couple of years ago. First of all, how's it doing? How did somebody get it? Then I got a question leveraged off it at the end of the answer. So,
well, doing fine. I think that it plateaued, of course, if anything that's a couple of years gone. But the stories are so good. I mean, you're talking about stories that people didn't know. I guess you can get it on Amazon or order it through one of the bookstores. But, every once in a while I run across a couple copies in the bookstore. And it's great. It's a lot of fun. Put it together.
Before we get to some of these stories, I know if you don't want to answer the question, just tell me. I don't know if you may or you may not. I have no idea. We're never going to want to make a guest uncomfortable for any reason. This is not necessarily that kind of question, but you may not anyway. Spectrum or Wells Fargo Center?
Spectrum, from the standpoint of loudness. Hockey building, because it had the pitch different. The pitches go to a different pitch, where the people didn't have to stand up all the time. The Wells Fargo Center, as great as it is, and it's a hell of a building.
And it's been redone.
Yes, yeah. It's a different generation. It's hard to put them together. But the old buildings, like
Chicago Stadium, the Garden.
Chicago, yes, Montreal. The building up in Whalers played in, it was just like this. Yeah, the Hershey Arena.
Hershey Arena?
Building for hockey.
You like to play in those small little buildings? Not small, but for NHL standards? Or do you like these new pleasure palaces?
Well, I never played really in big, those big buildings you're talking about. But like Lou said, the Spectrum was a beautiful place. Yeah. And I believe the noise of the crowd makes you a better player. And you know what? And I want to go back again about the defenseman quickly here. Joe Watson, we had such great communication. It's incredible. And eventually we had the same communication with everybody. If it's a left-hand shot coming down, okay, him in the left-hand shot, Joe made sure that it told me that he would play the man all the time. So if it was a left-hand shot, I knew that the shot 9 out of 10 times or 10 out of 10 times would go my stick side. If it was a right-hand shot, it would go my glove side. Those are things that we learn. We communicate with the defenseman, which is very, very important.
By the way, Bernie just talking about defensemen. Just on my phone, got an alert. 2 defensemen, Mark Stahl and Rasmus Ristolainen, who have been hurt. Mark Stahl with the ribs, Rasmus Ristolainen with a bunch of things, have been activated. Going to play tonight. More reinforcements, Lou, for this team that's again won 5 in a row. I'm going to put the salesman Lou Nolan on the spot for a second. You sell a bunch of books because of great stories. Give me a great story from the book that somebody might hear or watch and say, I got to get more of those. I got to get that book.
Don't use me.
Not like the one before the show that we heard about. Never mind.
I would have a rough time picking out one story from the book.
Just any story.
Just maybe the ones about the guys that would come in the box and rough players.
You're
players
talking
would
the penalty
be there.
box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they come in the penalty box, and they would say different things to you, talk to you. Some guys were great guys to have in there. Some guys were not. Some guys would say, "What do you got to eat? Give me some chocolate."
Well, you're just
energy.
You're in between the 2 penalty boxes.
Yeah.
So you're kind of there, communication. Like if they want to talk to the other guy, they may have to go through you, or just ask you a question about whatever. You're right down near the ice. In case people are trying to visualize it, with all these things going on.
Well, yeah, and 2 years ago with COVID, they chased me from the box, and I'm at the top of 112 now. I have a great view of the game, but I would love to be back in the box.
Sure.
But in any event, guys always, yelled at one another. Certain guys. Other people just, when the fight was over, just like the fellas that tapped each other's helmet, it was over.
Yeah.
And it was mutual respect. But then there were guys that were not, and guys that were nasty.
Ty Domi ring a bell there?
No, he's a good guy.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
good guy. Yeah, he get riled up, and then he said the reason that he's, first of all, because he's got that reputation that you could punch him in the face 10 times and he would still punch you back.
Cement head, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be smiling.
Be happy. Yeah.
Kind of worry about.
But with him, when Toronto was giving us a really rough time, and if you went and played a semifinal or a qualifying series against Toronto, by the next series you were beat to hell, and he was part of that. And when he was in the box one time, the word went out that it was going to be dangerous, so put higher glass up. Well, they put plexi up, but they didn't extend the stanchions that they were on. So when that guy leaned over and
the fan
plexi broke, fan from the second or third row after he was sprayed with water, it just broke off perfectly right over the stanchions. The guy fell in the box. Well, Ty grabs his jacket, puts it over him, and starts hitting him, just like he pulled a jersey over back before they had to be tied down. And guys are all,
I was at that game. All what broke loose. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. But, Toronto had the reputation that it was going to be a rough series. And, boy, they always were. They always were.
Broad Street Bullies, a lot of rough stuff with the Flyers. We are here with two of the great ones talking about it. Bernard Marcel Perrant, Flyers public address announcer for the last 50-some years. Lou Nolan. I'm going to take a quick break, come back, give you the stat of the week and much, much more from beautiful Chickies and Pete's, where Bernie's wife Jeannie is running around. All kinds of people doing all kinds of things, watching basketball, getting ready for a night, getting ready for Turkey Day tomorrow. We're getting ready for our third segment, which follows this. Stay with us, folks.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Come enjoy some delicious additions to our fall menu. Feast on our sweet fire barbecue wings, served with our tasty chive ranch dressing. Our Thai chicken sandwich with pickled red onions and sweet lime dressing, served with a mint slaw. Or Chickies and Pete's hot honey pepperoni pizza with extra pepperoni and delicious hot honey. For game day or any day, come see us all fall at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
At Independence Blue Cross, we believe in giving you the tools you need to pursue your healthiest life. From premiums as low as $0 per month to health discounts and cash rewards, it pays to have coverage with Independence. With the strongest network of doctors and hospitals in the region and free 24/7 virtual doctor visits, you can feel confident that quality care is always within reach. Learn more about your coverage options at ibx.com.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700. Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday. With locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City, Joseph Anthony is a premier salon and spa destination that offers unique and luxurious services such as the soft pack float and hydrofacial. The Center City location, located on the 5th floor of the beautiful Lowe's Hotel, is now open and features an exclusive summer menu where you can indulge in the Joseph Anthony experience in the exquisite Turkish bath. Joseph Anthony's little black card is the perfect gift for all your loved ones' relaxation needs. Call or go online to josephanthony.com. That's josephanthony.com.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
All righty, everybody, back here at Chickies and Pete's. Again, we hope you have a great holiday and a great holiday season. It is time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. My buddy Danny at 1-866-PAY-EASY. Could have gone a lot of places with this, a lot of esoteric analytic type numbers, but hey, when you got this one, it's a slam dunk. 5 straight wins for the Philadelphia Flyers, second the Metro 10-7-1, headed into tonight's clash on the island with the Islanders, something that most Flyer fans did not expect this season. Going for 6 tonight. That was your Flyers Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Payroll Service Solutions, catering to the small and medium-sized business to handle all of your payroll needs. Call them once again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. And Pay-Easy, Lou, was kind of your career before it. You're in banking. You were a man in your 20s. Hockey team comes along. You're obviously interested in hockey. You got a good voice. Going to throw all of it in the blender. How'd you wind up doing what you're doing now?
Well, I remember going down to Margate. I used to go to Margate in the weekends and chase girls.
Like half of us?
Yeah. And I met Joe Cadillac down there, and he had just gotten a PR job with the Flyers, so we went out to celebrate.
Oh, by the way, let me mention one thing. Somebody asked me this week. His name is Cadillac, K-A-D-L-E-C. Everybody on the planet calls him Cadillac. Somebody said, does he actually have the name Cadillac? No, but you might as well. But anyway, go ahead.
Good. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
It's good that you said that.
Yeah.
And so Joe said, maybe I could use some help, and I began, a short answer, I began doing some stats in the press box and things like that, handing out statistics and pregame stuff, and I'd write everything down that happened. And there weren't TVs all over the place like there are now. There were like 2 TVs in the whole press box, so I missed almost every goal. I'd be writing, roar, what's next? I'd listen, and I'd write it down. And then Kevin Johnson, who was the PA guy before me, left to go with the Blazers as their PR man.
Mm-hmm. WHA.
Yeah, he lasted 1 year because the Blazers moved to Vancouver, and he was history.
Better than if he had gone to the Miami Screaming Eagles, who never played a game.
That's right. Yeah. So I told Lou Seinfeld, I said, geez, I'd love to do that job because I'm sure I can handle it. I had done some stuff on a phone, announcing the goals and the assist upstairs. So I auditioned one day when they were putting the 3rd level in the building, the Spectrum, and it was a mess. It was like big cranes in there lifting all these things up. And I went over to where the mic was, and the guys turned the crane on like ding, 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 ding. So I said, excuse me, this is a big important audition for me. Would you mind turning off the crane? Ding, 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 ding. And then Lou said, believe me, you got the job, because I know your voice is okay, but I didn't know if you'd be rattled. But after that, why not? Then the first game I do, I get hit with the puck bucket. One of the guys threw the puck bucket. Well, that's where they were.
Well, tell everybody what the puck bucket is.
There wasn't a refrigerator. There was a thing of ice with pucks in it to try and keep them cold.
Yeah, before the game.
Yeah, well, during the game.
And before use during the game, yeah.
And, so I got hit with that, and I was saying, what am I doing here? Why did I take this job? Mm-hmm. But it worked out okay. I enjoyed it. And then a lot of things happened, like the Bruins ran in the stands right over us to fight a guy that stood on us.
How many years now?
How many years have I done it now? This is 53.
Wow. Incredible.
It is incredible. I'm going to put you on the spot, Bernie, for a second, because Lou is among the best, if not the best, at what he does. We'll ask Lou about the camaraderie between in-arena PA announcers in a second. But you played in a lot of places where there were a lot of different kind of PA announcers, some better than others, as any walk of life. When an arena had a terrible PA announcer, somebody who just went through the motions, no emotion, just read things like he was reading a book, does that take away from the game, from the atmosphere at all? What's that like?
Of course it does. Lou's the best.
Yep.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had number one when I played, and Lou has number one. What he did. It was a
very kind.
You know what? It's something. Think about this. Just like a player, you're born, with the talent to go out and perform, do things,
sure.
Right? And that's what you were born to, because for 50 some years, what you've done with that, it's exciting just to hear your voice.
Well, it's
amazing how we find our niche, isn't it? Lou's PA announcer, you as a goalie. There aren't many French-Canadian running backs or anything like that. You got to be a hockey goalie, and you found it, and we all have our little space in life, right, guys?
Yeah, not a lot of French-Canadian running backs.
No. Why even
in the CFL?
Why run for something when you could stand there and catch the puck? Yeah,
absolutely.
Catch the puck, become a pincushion.
Yeah.
Ivan Provorov just came back with Columbus. You said you didn't know him that well. A lot of people didn't. Kind of a private guy, but a nice guy.
Yeah.
You've literally talked to every Flyer that ever played, every opponent that ever played. I want to know who your favorite Flyer is of all time and why, and who your favorite opponent on game night is of all time and why.
Well, let's start with the opponent. That would be I used to talk to all the captains because if they wanted assists on a goal, they would talk to me, and I'd call upstairs.
You're
and
the assist guy.
Because I had no glass. I worked without glass for a lot of years.
Okay.
And Steve Yzerman talked to me a few times, and such a class guy. I really liked him, and I still do. One of my favorite players ever. And he, I remember he came in the penalty box for some reason, and I said, Steve, he says, yeah. I said, if you chip a stick tonight, put it away for me. Maybe I could take it home. He says, yeah. He says, I'll give you one, see me after or something like that. So he's first star of the game. He scores hat trick. So I call him, and Steve Yzerman, first star of Detroit. He comes over to me all across the ice and hands me his stick, and says, see me, I'll sign it for you. And it's like a twig. It's like, a scorer's stick, one of those ones with the rounded sides and all that kind of stuff, doesn't weigh anything. And I brought it in because the autograph kind of faded. I brought it in against Tampa, and I took it in. He was traveling. And when I took it in to get him to re-sign it, all the players says, look, what is that? What is that stick? Because it was all, the sticks are different now.
Yeah.
And
they're wood then.
It was a Louisville. It was, definitely a scorer's stick. Rounded, just beautiful. But he was a good guy at All-Star. He came over and sat with my family and I for a few minutes down here in Philly. We had All-Star, and he's just a classy guy.
You get along with Steve Yzerman, Bernie?
Only when I save.
Hall of Famer?
Only when I make the saves, yeah.
Only when you were both
yeah.
top 100 NHL players ever. I would think there's kind of a fraternity among the Gretzkys, the Perrons, the Howes, the Lemieux, the Yzermans.
Well, you know what? It's funny you're saying this, Lou. You too. It's when I played on the ice, it's different. You're playing the game.
Oh, sure.
And you have to do what you have to do.
Yep.
But off the ice, it was neat to meet the players. To chat a little bit with them and stuff like this. It was just to become friendly. It's the same thing with them. When they step on the ice, it was a different story. Then you forget this and play your game.
Well, once you were named to NHL 100, that gave you opportunities where the guys are going to get together here or there or forever, do signing or just do a press thing. And I'm sure that's when you guys get together. It gives you a good opportunity to get to know them.
Yep.
Well, you got an opportunity to get to know all of them, Lou. Your favorite orange and black of all time?
Well, Bob Clark, although he was so intense, he never thought he deserved a penalty. Ever. Simone Nollet, I like Simone. He was a good friend of mine. Always. And,
anybody current?
Out of these guys, yeah. I guess Giroux was great. Current. Not sort of current with us now.
Has it changed? Do players say different things than they used to? You have the glass, you have the referees now are mic'd, and it's just a different game, a different way the game's played.
Well, it's generational. A lot is different. The speed is different. Everything's different. But the players now, it started with Richards and Carter. They used to come out and stand in the hallway before the game. Usually, everybody stay in the room. He would lead the team out. They'd all come charging out. Mm-hmm. Now they're all over the place. They're in the hallway. They're having fun. They're kidding each other. They're doing high fives. So most of the team is already in the hallway, along with the goalie.
Yep.
No.
Well, that's before the game. Yeah. And then
no, during the game.
No, no soccer balls on the ice.
That's true.
And then they have a few guys stay late. Like Atkinson. Cam Atkinson's the last guy out of the room, so always the last guy. The guy before him is TK, who's a good guy too, great guy. So, Sandheim comes out late, because he doesn't stand in the hallway like that. He's getting himself into the game.
Yeah.
And lately he has been quite a player. Whew. Man, oh man.
Yeah, everybody's been quite a player lately. Flyers going for 6 in a row tonight on the island. Beat some very good teams during this. It's not like they beat the Ham and Eggs of the world. They beat the Stanley Cup champs Saturday night. Carolina beating some good teams. Anaheim, who wasn't supposed to be good, but is pretty damn good this year. And they go for 6 in a row. Again, John Tortorella on the ice. We're going to go for our final segment. My wife Amy and I had a problem. We had no light at home and couldn't figure out how do we get light in this house. And then we're in a bar watching the game, and they said the Pico Power Play. We called Pico, and we got electric lights, so the advertising does its job. We'll ask Lou Nolan about his signature phrase, the Pico Power Play. Mr. Pront and I will find out what that means and why Pico advertises, since everybody that I know has electricity on the ice. Presented by Independence Blue Cross. Final segment follows this, folks. Thank you.
Come on, let's
I don't.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. The tradition continues. Thanksgiving Eve, it's the Turkey Trot, only at Chicky and Pete's on Packer Avenue in South Philly. Wednesday, November 22nd, starting at 7 p.m. with the sensational Soul Cruisers and this year's host, Mr. Saturday Night himself, Bob Pantano. We're going to be dancing the night away as we welcome in the holiday season at our annual Turkey Trot at Chickies and Pete's. Wednesday night, November 22nd in South Philadelphia, only at Chickies and Pete's.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop shop for all your shopping needs at Fairless Hills.
Millions of Americans are losing their medical assistance or Medicaid coverage. If this affects you, Independence Blue Cross can help. You may be eligible to enroll in a health plan for as little as $0 a month. With Independence Blue Cross, you get the largest provider network in the area, including most Keystone First doctors and hospitals. We also offer free 24/7 telemedicine, coverage for hospital stays and prescriptions. See if you qualify for $0 health insurance and enroll today. Call Independence Blue Cross at 1-844-464-2583 or visit ibx.com/staycovered.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700. Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon is the true retreat from the everyday, with locations in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. Joseph Anthony is a premier salon and spa destination that offers unique and luxurious services such as the soft pack float and hydrofacial. The Center City location, located on the 5th floor of the beautiful Lowe's Hotel, is now open and features an exclusive summer menu where you can indulge in the Joseph Anthony experience in the exquisite Turkish bath. Joseph Anthony's little black card is the perfect gift for all your loved ones' relaxation needs. Call or go online to josephanthony.com. That's josephanthony.com.
If you're looking for a stylish and sophisticated fine dining experience, visit your Eddie V's Prime Seafood Restaurant near King of Prussia. Eddie V's Seafood features an abundant selection of fine wines and curated cocktails to complement exquisite steaks and seafood made from the highest quality ingredients. In the V Lounge, sip on imaginative handcrafted cocktails with attitude while enjoying signature appetizers. Conveniently located between I-276 and I-76 near the King of Prussia Mall. Call them today, 610-337-7823 to schedule your night out for Eddie V's Prime Seafood.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
All righty, certainly not a turkey of a show tonight. Enjoying the heck out of it with Bernie Perrant and longtime PA announcer Lou Nolan. By the way, Lou, we got free agency in the NHL. Is there free agency in your thing? Anybody ever make an offer? Did the Rangers ever say, come to the Garden, join us, or anybody else? Does that go on in your world?
Not really, Paul. No, everybody's got their own guys, and we have a group, a Facebook page that I signed on to that is all the announcers, and
so you all know each other. People say, do you know the guy in Winnipeg, or you never see him? Obviously, you may.
You might see his picture, but
Sure.
we're close, and when it's a birthday, we wish guys birthdays and do all these kinds of things.
It's nice, isn't it, Mr. Perrant?
Say this again.
Wish each other happy birthday. Be civil with it.
Yeah.
Well,
we're a good group.
I try to do this with Paul. He never answers the phone.
Nope.
I know.
Because I see you're calling. I don't have to answer it.
That's right. He sees your name. Absolutely.
There we are. Lou, the phrase, we all have phrases we're synonymous with. Merrill has his phrases and other people have theirs. You have the Pico Power Play. I don't know when it started. I don't think you know when it started 15, 20 years ago. Pico obviously sponsors it. I still don't understand why, but we'll leave that for another day since everybody I know has electricity. But how much is that phrase lent to your persona, and how often do people ask you about it?
Almost all the time. They ask me continuously. But it just began. I mean, I remember I was told that we were going to have it. So the first power play, I just said, the Flyers going on the Pico Power Play. I said, no. Second one, it was a little bit juiced up. By the end of the night, it had a little bit juice, but it wasn't like it is now. And
now it's an event. And the power play's getting better.
Well, not only that, but they put this camera in front of the thing so they can switch to me when I'm doing it. So it goes on the big board that I'm saying Pico Power Play, so all the guys see, people in the building see it.
You know what? The crowd reacts to this too.
Sure they do.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, sure.
So funny thing about that, Pico decided that they wanted to, the Flyers, I think, first, promoting it, sent that person out to my home to record me saying it 4 or 5 times. Then they used the best one, and they have this little button. You know, that was easy from Staples.
Sure.
That was easy.
The easy button.
Yeah, well, now there is one, and they did 3,000 of them, and I even got paid for it, 3,000 of them, and hit it, and it's a Pico Power Play. So, and then they did 300 or 400 more for their own employees. But they're out there somewhere. You can get them probably on eBay. I don't know. But
well, for people who've never been to a Flyer game, obviously if the other team gets a penalty, the Flyers go on the Pico Power Play. The arena goes nuts. The adrenaline, the juice, Pico's juice. Flyers get a penalty. What happens? What do you say?
Flyers penalty number 16, Bobby Clark. You know, I don't say anything. I just say the way it is. But I don't like. I'm not like some guys that say, Flyers goal scored by, and then Minnesota goal scored by. I don't do that. I try to
give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, it's a goal.
You like that, Bernie?
I don't cheer it, but
you had many goals scored against you, unfortunately.
Of course.
When the PA announcer would ham it up, did you get ticked off?
No, you just you know what, you take, like Lou was saying, you take what gets you going.
You're part of a show, right?
You're part of the show.
Yeah, it's entertainment. Yep.
And it's very important. You listen to, as a player today, you listen to Lou when they go in the power play, and the excitement that Lou creates among the crowd, and then you have. What? How many people they have now? The new building?
20,000.
20,000.
19 something.
19
yeah,
something.
when they come, when that many show up. Yeah.
So you have.
They're coming now. They're starting to come in.
So they get excited with the penalty. They get excited that Lou brought the whole thing together, and they're exciting about the possibility of getting a goal, and everybody gets excited. And when you do this, a lot of positive things happen.
Yeah. Well, they say first off they better pay attention now. Because something's going to happen.
Does a coach or a GM, a coach, ever see in the hall before a game either Tortorella, the other team's coach, any of the previous Flyer coaches, and ask you to say something or ham something up or say it in a certain way? Did you ever get any feedback from coaches?
No, I don't get feedback
or
from
guidance,
coaches like that. I knew the guys that were the equipment guys from Pittsburgh real well, and those guys told me that when they hear me say that on the bench, they used to look over and they used to go, they said it's not a good thing because, at that point, when that certain group of people were there, we were getting a 28% clip, which is really good. And then, recently we were 0 for 26, so.
It woke up this past weekend.
Yeah.
Because of your statements. Flyers got excited.
Yeah.
Goals.
That's right. Blame me. I'll take it.
There we are. It's been almost 50 years, obviously, for a cup. How anxious are you to call another one in one of the next few years, hopefully?
I'm very anxious. I would like to do that. I called 2 of them. And that was terrific. I rode 2 parades. I actually took the cup to work before the white gloves.
Would you get it for a day if they won today?
Oh, no.
No, just the players?
Yeah, players and staff.
Bernie, you didn't get that in your day, did you?
Of course.
You got the cup to take for a day?
Of course. I went fishing with the Stanley Cup.
There we are. You just dipped it in and see what you caught?
And every time we caught a fish, we named it. A player played against them. Look at the Stanley Cup and throw it back in the water. Yeah, sure.
There we are. The refs talk to you also. Any refs you have anything bad to say anything about? Kerry Fraser, we have on the show often.
Yeah, Kerry was great. I really liked Kerry. I thought he would call all the penalties, even late in the game. When some guys let him go, he would call them because they were penalties. Now it's I don't like the rules where you can get a hooking penalty for just little pat. I think. But
you also got to write down. We just got a second here when there's a brawl and 19 guys get majors and misconducts. And you got to write it down. The refs and you get together, and you got to call all the penalties out. That can be a chore sometimes, sorting that all out, can't it?
Quick story. Bob Myers was the ref. It was a huge brawl. It was back when the guys went over the boards, and we had one going on there. And he came over to me and he said, "Louie," that's what most hockey people, Louie, give me paper. So I give him a pad, a pencil. He's going around. He's writing the stuff down. So it's now 10 minutes. I mean, and the linesmen are trying to break guys up, and they're so tired from fighting they don't want to fight anymore, but they can't not fight. And Myers comes over to me and he's all set to give me the penalties. He's got the paper. My phone rings and I pick it up and it's Ed, and I said, "Yes, Ed." He says, I said, "Just a minute, Ed," and I put the phone down. I took the penalties from Myers and then I picked the phone up and I said, "Yes, Ed." He says, "Lou, there's something you and I have to get straight between us." He says, "When I call you, you put the referee on hold."
That's a nice exclamation.
Great guy.
Tremendous guy. Great exclamation point for the show. Bernie, it's been great to have Lou on, hasn't it?
The best. You know what? He's the best. Lou's the best at what he's doing. And look, even tonight, the communication and the stories and the whole bit. It's beautiful.
He makes it
beautiful, man.
He makes it always fun. Thank you so much for being here, Bernie. You're going to be off for a couple of weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving, you and Jeannie, and see you soon in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
All righty, Lou, thank you so much for being with us. Let's do it again sometime.
Sounds good, Paul. I appreciate it very much.
All righty, this show has been produced tonight by Chris Ermer, Gus Barber, and Stephen Lawler. Help back at the station along with Keith Noonan. Want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving out there. We'll be in Marlton next week at Chickies and Pete's with our Hospodar. For Bernie Perrant and our guest Lou Nolan, I'm Paul Jolovitz. For On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, saying go Flyers and happy Thanksgiving.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB 11.